right, so we're out here on the new trail build, out in the middle of the hills. It's all remote, but I'm here out with Joseph back there.
I'm not awake yet.
So he is the bench cut master, and he always says when you're bench cutting, bring me along. So we're bench cutting today, bro.
Yay.
You. And we did happen to bring the foreman out. He has to check all the lines. He's got to, you know, dig where you're not supposed to dig. Basically, he shakes down the trail and makes sure it will hold in place. First thing we're working on is a switchback. And I hate switchbacks. I hate building switchbacks. So, wish me luck. So I'm gonna let you in kind of on the process of building an up trail. So obviously pitch and gradient is gonna be the most important thing. Keep it steady going up. So you're still gaining elevation, but don't make it too steep. And of course, don't make it too flat, because then you don't go up at all. But it's in the summer, so we're actually doing the initial cut and routing of the trail. And this will allow us to come through here after it rains and basically do the 45-degree cuts on the right-hand side, or the high side of the trail, and basically take all of that dirt and put it on the bottom side as fortification, pack it down, and it will stay for at least 3 or 4 years. And we're running into these spots here that are just absolutely fierce. I mean, it's like rock. And I don't really know what kind of dirt this is, but I've run into it a couple places on Pinball and on Sith where it's like this white dirt, and once you pack it, it becomes like cement. So it's actually really great to build with, but it's
cement.
It's cement. You have any tips for the trail building noobs out there?
Yeah, pickaxe. It's your friend.
So preliminary cut is done on this first really big switchback, and as you can see, it's pretty ugly, and we're gonna have to wait for rain to really dial it in, because we'll have to put some tires on it and see what it does. But this is kind of another view of what we're dealing with. So we come through, use a weed cutter to cut everything out of the way, and as you can see, it's actually a pretty steep slope. This is more of that cement-esque dirt, and we got to cut all this out. So down there, it looks like it's easy to cut out the bench, but it's really not. This is what it looks like before we bench it. This trail specifically that we're working on today is actually going to be, I think, around 2 miles, which will be the longest trail behind Hulda Crooks. So pretty excited. It's going to be a 2-way blue trail. So it's going to be intermediate, and there's not a lot of intermediate trails back here that are longer. Most intermediate people just ride all the way up the canyon, and then they ride down from the tree, which can be a little tricky just because you've got people climbing up, hikers. So this will be a good place to kind of hide away. All right, so this was the section that I showed you guys earlier. Now it's all bench cut with the pick, smoothed out a bit. Obviously, when it rains, we're gonna cut more off of the side, the uphill side, and kind of fill in the lower side, make it flat. Probably will make it twice as wide as it is right now. I wanted to show you guys this here, and this actually, I was planning on going through this bush even until I got here, basically to keep the gradient even, but because we have a switchback behind us, I thought it'd be nice to put in a little bit of a downhill so that you can rest and get your energy back. And then the rest of this, I'm basically going to keep the gradient pretty even going up to the next switchback around the corner. And this whole section climbing up to the switchback is pretty even, so I figured it'd be a nice spot. One of the things I'm most excited for is the views on this trail. Because it's so remote and really far out here, there's not really much human interaction with this land. So when you're riding out here climbing, be on your own, a little piece of nature. What do you think about that, Joe?
I think it'd be sick. And I think next time I'm out here in the dry, I need to bring a particle mask. I'm dying.
His life is fading
it's bad.
quickly. So a lot of people actually ask me how I plot out the trails, and there isn't really one answer for that, because even when I do all of the Google Earth, GPS, 3D, fancy plotting that I do, usually the trail doesn't come close to what I initially check out. But when I go on Google Earth, what I'm looking for the most is a nice long area where I can get an even gradient and have a pretty long trail. Because for me, I feel like if the trail isn't longer than a couple minutes, it's not really worth the work. And there's a lot of offshoots back here where you've got, you know, a longer trail, and then people just cut in these little short pieces, and basically over time people select one route, and a lot of those shorter routes that took a lot of time to build basically go unused. So I think by building a much longer trail, basically I know all the work that I do isn't going to be a waste. So we did have one casualty today, and that's my little trusty weed whacker that I've only had for maybe 5 months. So not too pleased about this one, but good thing these guys aren't expensive. But on that note, if you guys want to donate to the trail building efforts out here, we do have a PayPal set up. If you guys want to send some money, it goes straight to tools. We don't use it for anything else because, well, I myself don't drink, and neither does this guy. And I'm pretty sure Jack doesn't drink either.
I can give him a beer and find out.
I think that's a good idea.
I don't think it's a good idea either.
Basically everything you guys donate goes straight to the trails. So I will put that email down in the description, and you guys can send some money and help build some trails. All right, so it's time to call it a day. Got a good, I don't know, what'd you say, 150 feet of bench done?
Yeah, and some pretty rough dirt too, and sage.
Finished the switchback. Poor Joseph's allergies over here started trying to kill him halfway through.
Like 10 minutes into it.
But we got a lot done, so I'll try and keep these videos coming and keep you guys updated on the new trail, and hopefully we can get it open before, I don't know, Christmas?
Yeah, maybe.
Will be my Christmas present to you all. All right, as always, remember, go fast, get drifty, and don't suck.